It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Tennessee Titans and the Philadelphia Eagles. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here come the Titans for their first possession on offense, and leading them out in his 4th season with the team, 10th overall in the NFL, Ryan Tannehill.
And one of the things that has really impressed me about Ryan Tannehill has been his perseverance. Early in his career, didn't have the success that he desired. Had some injuries that slowed his development, but he kept working at his craft, and now he's a guy that I think you can put a game on his shoulders.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Henry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. That's complete to Treylon Burks. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. And finding the tight end Hooper. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. Interesting decision here. Opening drive, Charles. 4th and short. You're in field goal range. We'll see what they do.
I just shake a fist at my offense and say, go get it, guys. Because if you can't pick up 4th and short here, we're probably in trouble the rest of the game. Show some confidence. Show some aggressiveness. Go pick it up.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
On 1st down, Hurts. And his throw here's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. it's a really difficult task.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Tannehill on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Tannehill. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Let's go now, let's go.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hurts. And he's got it. Touchdown! Grant Calcaterra, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
A lot of times when you take a tight end in later rounds, you're doing it with a little bit of hope, some potential. But not so with this guy. They believe he can really make an impact in the red zone, and he definitely makes good on that faith right there.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead it 7-zip. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Tennessee offense set to go again. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Draw play. This is Henry. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Woods. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Hurts. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Eagles. Grant Calcaterra. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 44. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will have a Titans first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tannehill now to throw. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 1 now.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. From the 30 on 2nd down, Tannehill. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, Tannehill. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
Once again, we got to get it done as a group.
Here's Tannehill. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Tannehill to the sideline. Randy Bullock out now for the Tennessee field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bullock's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this 3rd quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And once again, this is Sanders. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. They juked him. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Let's go, man. Let's go, baby.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I didn't like the play call. I loved it. Running situation for sure on 4th and short. They got the defense to commit too many men in the box to stop the run and have the guts to go for the pass instead, and as a result, they're set up first and goal.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And they'll try the option on first and goal. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jalen Hurts, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. A give to Henry. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, That's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They're going option play on third down. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Let's go now.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Bud Dupree fighting through and making the tackle.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They go play action with Hurts. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
What's the deal, y'all? Nothing here. Let's go, y'all. We gotta be big time now.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Looking to throw again on second down. Tannehill. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. An option handoff given to Sanders. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. Quick slant to Brown. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Sanders is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mario Edwards Jr. able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
To throw again on second down. Tannehill, he's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Tannehill. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, back to Sanders. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.